Ask the Murloc.
Dear Murloc, I am a level 11 warrior and I would like a pet. Where can I get one, and what is the advantage of a pet?
Flour and beer, foolish yes, but cow and fear, foolish mortals, for the Murloc, him to do, something. I can't quite remember what. Yes, come and sit on the Murloc's lap, my dear, and tell him what you want for Christmas. What? Questions? Humbug. Pets, you say? A pet is for life, not just for Christmas, you snarling worm. Large, giant kittens, scratch the eyes out. Here now, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Oh, yes, most certainly. Murloc speaks the truth.
Ask the Murloc.
Dear Murloc, I used to ask for water and iron forge, but mages always said they were water spexed. So I created a mage, but I can't find the talent to spec water. What should I do?
You stupid knobstick. You've been fooled by the cunning mages. Water spec. No, seriously, pay attention, fool. To create water, you must spec frost. And then you won't be able to create food, which is fire spec, or portals, which are arcane spec. Yes, I think. You can only do one now, and bear in mind none of those specs allow you to do damage, because mages are underpowered and can never kill anyone. So, yeah. You will have to spec Warlock or Rogue in order to do the damage, and yes.
Ask the Murloc.
Dear Murloc, I am a low-level shaman, and I want to know what is the most fun spec. I don't want to be Uber, I just want to have fun.
I've absolutely no idea what you're talking about. You make absolutely no sense. No, you total piffling moron. You know what I think? What I think is that the only reason we die is because we accept it as an inevitability. Look, probably shouldn't have eaten the seed in the... Yes, the seeds. And cognac. Merry Christmas, you piffling morons.
Ask the Murloc.
I think the Murloc's going to have to be locked up for this one. Last time I saw him, he was wandering around the streets with his top hat, cane and monocle. And, quite frankly, being a little bit... Ooh, what's the accurate term? Friendly with the female of the species. And that, my friends, is not good. I expect to find him... Oh lord, someone's spamming the channel. There we go, kicked. Gotta love it. Anyway, do not spam your entries in the channel. It's that simple, folks. If you want to submit a contest entry, then do so. themurloc@gmail.com. Email it. Don't put it in the channel like Spen just did with 20 lines of gibberish. No! You fools. themurloc@gmail.com, folks. Email it there. We've had a few entries in already, so get moving! Now, the contest, for those who missed it. I want you to create something that represents a World of Warcraft Christmas. It might be a picture, perhaps an animation, maybe a song. But you only have just over an hour to do it. So get on with it. Do it now. something that symbolises a WoW Christmas, and you can win fantastic prizes, such as a 90-day WoW game card, an Art of World of Warcraft book, and a whole bunch of stuff from the Werecraft store, cafepress.com/Werecraft. Do it! Do it now. Okay. Now, that was Molten Core. And I got some interesting comments about the whole Molten Core thing. Other than Leto say, yes, well, they've got to be here. No one said they knew how to summon Ragnaros. They're just trying to survive, I think, because of how far they are from the old god they're tied to. They're weakened to a degree, and the longer they stay away, the weaker their connection to this world gets. Yeah, so their solution to that problem was to sit in a hole in the ground and look silly. Well, that's very proactive there. Fantastic. Now, I disagree. I think Molten Core is one of the worst set instances in the game, but it does have some nice loot and some fun encounters. It's just really dull to look at. Now, someone else made the comment that it would be nice to see Ragnaros perhaps get out of his pit every once in a while and come and ransack a small town. I agree. That's one thing that really gets me. All these instances, you never see them coming out and doing anything. Scholarments, they're training warlocks, but yet they haven't sent any of these warlocks, who seem to be warlocks and necromancers. They seem to be perfectly capable, good fighters. They could probably go and ransack a small village, should they wish to. But they're not. Anixia is not leaving her lair, even though apparently under the law she does go out and visit towns in human form. What's Nefarian doing? Sitting on top of his ivory tower, scheming. You don't see Nefarian... Look, the guy's got 10 million hit points. He could destroy Orgrimmar if he wished to. He could ransack it, raze it to the ground, and yet all he's doing is sitting on his bloody throne all day. And that's one thing that gets me. It's... What I said earlier was that the world seemed like it was alive. And yet instances are the one thing that really bother me in that respect. They never come out. Why are they there? Apparently there's a demon under under Orgrimmar and Rage Firegasm, yet you never see him outside. Now, at least they've sort of justified that in a storyline sense. They're plotting. They're scheming underground. Also known as they're waiting to be killed by adventurers because there's a quest to kill them all. It's not the best place to hide, really, is it? Under Orgrimmar, under your worst enemy, Thrall, who you are trying to destroy. Fool. Someone suggested world events. And it would be nice to see those instances serve a purpose other than for getting fat loots. Let's face it. It would be nice to see the Scarlet Crusade march forth to cleanse the land, go hunting Forsaken players. All that kind of thing. But it doesn't happen. In some places it's justified, like Ragefire, or Anixia's lair maybe, but in other places, you do wonder why they're just hanging out in there. And to be honest, it's an argument for more world events. I haven't actually seen an elemental invasion in either Ashara or Silithis for a very long time. Now that was a world event. It didn't really have much of a justification for it. The elementals are invading for no apparent reason. They don't like us very much. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But is that it? If Azuragus is going to spawn in Ashara, why does he just hang around waiting to be killed? Why doesn't he go and kill some adventurers on his own? Eat people. That would be nice to see. I would love to see that. Dragon invasions. One of the dragon flights comes and ransacks a town. Towns actually being attacked. There's another thing. Doesn't happen. Raiding in itself, raiding towns, is now being made something very, 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 very undesirable because of dishonourable kills. That's a bad thing. DKs I disagree with. And it doesn't feel like a world at war. It feels like a world where two sides don't really like each other very much and are sort of hurling insults over a fence. There isn't a lot of war in Warcraft. And that I would like to see change. Perhaps the expansion will address some of these kind of things with the Outlands content, which has been rumoured to be a PvP-centric environment where it's free-for-all, where in fact both sides, including NPCs, are actually fighting it out. Now that would be nice to see. So, what have we got so far? Impedances to World of Warcraft and the overall feeling of World of Warcraft. The way that World of Warcraft feels not quite as alive as it should. More world events would help matters. DKs, get rid of them. Just get rid of them. We don't want them. So it would be nice to encourage more raiding, and it would also be nice to have a purpose. And this goes back to what I said shows ago, and that is the idea of being able to raid territory and take it. You can't take it as such right now. You can stand in the middle of Astranar killing off all the guards as they respawn, but you're not really taking it, are you? You're not staking your claim, you're just slaying people for the sake of it. That's something I want to see in the game. And I think, to be honest, the developers really do have to watch out, because there are some games in which not only does this already exist, I believe Realm versus Realm in Dark Age of Camelot has a similar function, but there are games forthcoming which will be featuring this, Dark and Light being a very good example. And I admit, that has tempted me. I'd like to see a game which is a little bit more dynamic, that my actions in the world appear to change the world in some way, whereas right now they don't. I can't affect, say, the economy of vendors in any way. Now, I know vendors aren't all that important, but there are several games in which you can affect vendors. You can have an economy within the game that does not simply consist of the player-run economy of the auction house. Now, some games have gotten far too far in this respect, like Star Wars Galaxies is completely player-run, and that has its problems. But it seems WoW's gone the other way. I can't do anything to change the price of the vendors other than get, say, the Honoured discount or the Sergeant's discount, and that's it. I could sell 20 billion stone, 20 billion rough stone to a vendor, and the vendor still wants more. What does he do with it? It doesn't affect the price that he pays. It's just there for grinding, and that gives an impression of, again, a world that is not as alive as it should be. So what have we got so far? World events, raiding, territory conquering systems, and more dynamic economy systems. That's the kind of thing I would like to see. And of course the reason is, quite simply, the world doesn't feel alive as it should be. Now I may be becoming a little bit incoherent at this point, because I am drinking this delicious vodka, as it is Christmas Day, and we are allowed to celebrate in such respect. But if I do get a bit incoherent towards the end of the show and start slurring my words and talking about things that don't matter, then tough. That's what's going to happen. You have less than an hour to get your entrance. Your entrance? That's not even a word. Your entries in for the Blue Please Christmas Epic Giveaway. You do not have much time. I'm not expecting miracles, folks, but just get it in. Get it in. themurloc@gmail.com is the place to email. Now, it has to be said, the one thing before I go to the music break that I was impressed with, as far as bringing the world to life goes, has been the holiday events. Holiday, quote-unquote. The Halloween events were good, but the Christmas events have been fantastic. The fact that it was staggered as well, and it all wasn't introduced on one day. The quests, great stuff. Liked them. The stuff that you can buy. The whole kissing under the mistletoe thing, to get your fresh holly, and your mistletoe that will give you a nice buff, which is actually quite worth it. and today, the Christmas presents. Yes, that is a great idea. Whoever thought of that is a genius. It's fun. And it made me feel like I was supposed to be playing the game. It's like, here's a little thank you from us. That's great. That's really good to see. Admittedly, some people are idiots. And I've logged in alts to get more presents. And I try to sell the stuff on the auction house. Personally, I'm keeping my preserved holly till July, and I intend to sell it for 5,000 gold. But it's nice to see. The whole Wintervale Festival is one of the best events I've ever seen Blizzard do in this game, and I hope for more Pliz. More Pliz, Blizzard. You heard me. More of the good stuff. You're listening to Blue Please, or You'll Please, here on WoW Radio. This has been requested time and again. Time and again. By a man called Strife. Happy Wintervale to you. This is Camelot. This is The Wings of Despair. Enjoy.